What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Cheddar Terry right here. Hey, okay. And eventually, I just want to talk about, what are the biggest things, like popularity wise, something that came out that was exciting that lasted for a while back in the 90s and early 2000s to 2005. So we're here. We're gonna talk about that. Now, starting to break out again. Shit. But anywho, what we're gonna officially discuss. So, I would have to say some of the biggest ones. They've been around for a while. I don't know if they make them anymore. I don't think they do. Were statue toys that wouldn't move, and we're talking like figures, like kind of like that, to like puny ones like that, and those are really fun for people of my generation back then, and how things looked. For me, what did I have statue-wise? So we're gonna discuss toys, but you could call it a toy. I mean, it's what we did until we got on. It's like, oh, this ain't really a toy; it's a statue. So when you had these statue figures, I guess, kind of like, what was it, the 11 Ducks edition or something with the Daryl Dixon. But anywho, that ain't the point of all this. For being what they were, we had to really use our imagination. Like, we just had to completely use it. And that's like the best thing about that era, is that when you had these statue figures that couldn't move, we had to be able to really use our imagination. We had fun with it. The statue ones there were hard plastic. I want to say like kind of like your window borders for your glass, and the color was there. I mean, they were bright because it was the 90s, so it was a pop era. So you had bright stuff, nice coloring at times. The big ones, if I remember correctly, I want to say they were at least the cheapest compared to the smaller figures like that. But we enjoyed playing with them, and mainly the main ones from what I could possibly remember that were actually statue figures, that like the big ones, were the Pokemon ones, and had 3 of them I can recall: Ash, Pikachu, and a Meowth. So we had that. Compared to the smaller figures from what we had, was a lot of the ones I mainly collected were the small Dragon Ball Z guys, like wee, big, kind of like Army Men but downsized. I used to have a lot of those. A lot of us kids used to like to blow them up. I'm serious. They were that fun to blow up. So we move on with some of the toys. Like I said in my one video, how I tried to describe them. I'm real bad at describing them, because I'm talking about things that are popular, from toys to games to cars to movies to books, pretty damn much. So toys wise, like I said, there were like the 2 first toys I showed y'all in the one video when I was comparing how gorgeous the Michonne comic figure was, and how gorgeous the Daryl Dixon the Chopper package was. So, like I said, we're gonna go back to the Two-Face one. We had toys like those. They didn't do much, but we had fun with them. I used to collect a lot of Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Dragon Ball Z, like that. Because they were good I like them tear them up. They're a little bit strong. Some of the Dragon Ball Z ones, when they came in just like one pose, were like hollow plastic. But you know, we did have fun with those, and I really like when they have stuff like shooting out their hands, or like with a gun, or some kind of big random thing. You know, the colors were okay for its time. The sculpting was good for its time. I think some of the biggest ones that people bought out were Batman and Dragon Ball Z. Batman for a reason, because you know you had the animated series, you had the Batman Robin movie, you had the Batman Forever movie. So, you know, you had those toys selling like crazy. I used to have them, and I'm trying to recollect them, and they're hard. So the best way to do it is on the internet, and there's like only so many left, so much left that. I mean, they want reasonable prices, they want high prices. It all depends who you're buying from. So I trying to refine the ones I used to have. Some of them that I did have that I'm older now, it's like, okay, I would not get that one back. Like, stupidest ones they made now. But I can say this. Or if they come like, okay, here's the Bruce Wayne, he's only in one pose. You can't do much with it, you can barely move him. He comes with these put together Batman suits that you snap on, and I realized, okay, that just wasn't fun for me like it was then. So I would never re-get that one. Let me see. Another big toys that were selling, the Power Rangers ones, the original Power Rangers, from the original to Power Rangers Zero. They were pretty big, and they broke very easy. Like soft plastic, you can just easily snap. They were like with small screws in them too. Though those ones never lasted long. I don't know if they're still making Power Ranger stuff like that, or even from the originals how they are. I don't know. I grew out of it. I wouldn't mind recollecting some of the originals though. The main ones I used to have a lot. You know, their shoulders could move, their elbow joints could move, their knees move, their hips move, and that was about it. And they used to have the switch in the back of them where you could flip there to their identity, then flip it back again to the where they have the helmets on. And I used to collect those a lot. But they would barely stand because what they were really made out of, like the hollow soft plastic with the little bitty tiny screws in them that didn't really help much. So, you know, those never lasted. My favorite one was the Gold Ranger one. I really like that. But he broke the first day I got him out of the package. Oh God, I was mad. So from there we move on to some of the bigger toys. And a lot of people wanted them, and now they're like hard to find. Like you had some of the Power Rangers Zoid type things. Ones you could put together, they were like high expensive. Like I had some of those. See what else do we? Some of the stuff on the Batman. Like I never could find the Batman anime series Batmobile, the big version, or the plane. I had two jets. Like one was like in this round ball with this old school bat symbol. Had it in it, you could put it in, close it, put them in it, and it kind of just like moved, you know. Like you could fly it, like the ball would kind of move or whatever. It's hard to explain, but I'm trying to refine that figure, that little bat thing. I had the Batman Forever bat plane jet. That was a good one. I'm really wanting to get that one back, but damn, they want too much. I remember having the Batmobile one from Batman Forever. That was a good one. The Batman, the Robin mobile, the big like silver bat looking type thing, Batarang, I think it was called. The one where they fought Mr. Freezing. that looked like a half plane, and it was like half things you can just drive on snow, and that like the ice one, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. And so I had that. I had some Robin stuff. I don't really remember what it was. So compared to those, I mean, yeah, those are pretty fun. Are you talking about playground playsets accessories, like what they would come with, like you could put them on like display sets, I guess. You know how you know how they advertise something. Well, you get this, you could put your figures with them and play with them, kind of like a setup type area, I guess. So, I grew up a little bit poor, so couldn't buy those because of a lot of money. So pretty much us kids would use our imagination, use our rounded areas for play sets. We would throw a blanket down on the ground, so whichever way it came out, you could use your imagination. It could be a hill, it could be an island. You could add wooden blocks to that, make it into an abandoned fortress, make it into a fortress. Add Legos with that. And we would do this all outside on the ground with the dirt to make it even more even with the grass. So that would be our playset area. Because, we didn't have that kind of money for it. And all of us kids, we like that surrounding area of how we used to do that. And, like I said, we'd have to really use our imagination as what we did. And that's what made playing with toys fun, because you could come up with whatever you could. And I do miss that. Now I can forget the places if they still exist, but still. So we used to do stuff like that. Video game wise, for me, man, it was the Sega. Not too Sega. I had like just about every Sega game, and I still do. I still got my Sega stuff. I don't really play it. The sound's no longer on it. It's an old system. I will never give that one up. I don't really remember what all the big games were. They were just whatever was it at that time being. Some of my favorite ones would have to be both of the Batman games, Mickey and Donald Duck adventure type feel, Toy Story, and this one driving game where you had to ram these cars with these criminals and just bust them. That was a good one for me. One of the Mortal Kombat games, I really liked that. First Jurassic Park was good. Spider-Man was a good one. X-Men and Spider-Man. What else? I had one weird wrestling game. And it was pretty dope too. That's about all the ones I can remember that I really liked. So, from there, we move on to PlayStation 1. Dexter, and really that was like it. Besides this one Chinese one, that's about the only ones I'd actually play. So I wouldn't play anything else. I used to have some of these demo type games where I have like short versions of these games on one disc. Ones I used to play off of was a snowboarding game and Rugrats and Tomb Raider a lot. And really that's about the only ones. So, those were popular. What else is pretty big? I would have to say trading cards, Pokemon stickers were big. Along with the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. So, there's not really too much I can say about that because those are still going on, they're still around. I grew out of that stuff, but that part is not really it no more. So, with me, it's not. I used to love the holographic stickers like crazy, but since there wasn't so much to say about the card ones, I want to move on to these stick like those 25 cents, 50-cent quarter machines. Tat. I would collect these tattoo ones, right? I don't know what happened to them. I used to have this whole photo album full of these wrestling cards, tattoos, these one little pop-up wrestler things where you could pop them out the cardboard and they just stand. You could put them back in. I had Scooby-Doo. I had Dragon Ball Z stickers, Batman. I don't know what happened to those. I never got rid of them. God no, I never got rid of them. Shit. I don't know where they are. They're in a photo album. But the thing is, there's like so many of them. I hope they're downstairs in one of those damn photo albums, man. I mean, if I can ever find them, I would show you guys that collection. I know I didn't get rid of them. I know my mom didn't get rid of them. I mean, I know we got rid of stuff over years and years, but nothing but photo albums on because we would look for them first. I know I didn't get rid of them, and God, they were really nice. Like I was a fan of the holographic stuff. I really liked the tattoo ones. They used to have the car lowrider ones too. I used to collect them. I collected those. I really loved those. I think a lot of 90's kids did. So, from all that, we move on to clothing. For me, the older kids would have kind of like what Will Smith would wear on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was pretty big and popular. I used to have some of that. The wild, crazy hat designs. Just for those who don't know, y'all younger generation, y'all think snapbacks are new. Snapbacks been around since the 80's and 90's. I've been doing snapbacks before y'all thought they were cool. So yeah, I'm saying that. Anywho, so Dragon Ball Z shirts were big. I never could find one, but I could find shorts. Batman, I had a lot of Batman clothing. Scooby-Doo was huge as hell still. I had a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff. Stuffed animals, stuffed Batman, Power Ranger stuff, Dragon Ball Z stuff. Like the stuffed little things, like huge, but I don't know what happened to those either. But the clothes, and I had a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff. Men in Black was pretty big, so they sold a lot of them. I had the backpack with the car that used to transform. Transformers was huge. Kind of like the stuff for like kids hip hop clothing, pretty much. I got pictures. I just don't feel like taking them out to actually show y'all. The collared shirt, buttoned all the way up, tucked in, looking good, slim, type ordeal, 90's feel to it. Had that. Even like anybody who's my age and from the 90's, you know what I'm talking about, like early 90's. So yeah. Really, clothing was just clothing. I mean, I'm gonna go through what I had and what I remember. So the big loud clothing like Will Smith used to wear from the Fresh Prince. The older kids had that. You could never really find them with smaller kids, but they did have the hats, so I had those. I had Scooby-Doo. I had Batman. What else? A lot of collar button-down shirts. Pants-wise, jeans a lot. I wasn't really fat. I wasn't really a fan of shorts, but I used to wear like basketball type shorts every now and then. Those are pretty huge too. What else? Shoes. For me, it was light up shoes and sandals. Light up shoes I would wear during the winter. And I used to. Oh wait, before I get to the shoes, I'm still talking about pants, wasn't I? So pants were only pants all these kids really wore, right? Was I forget the name of them, but there were pants that could turn into shorts, and they don't make those no more. Plus, they had like the cargo pants on the side. I used to have beige and black. I used to have a lot of those. And I used to wear them a lot. For other reasons of shirts, or like I said, I never could find a Dragon Ball Z shirt because back then never went to the mall, so the mall wasn't as the mall was popping, but you know now the mall does no longer exist, so it's pretty much dead. It's more into a cancer hospital now, so there's no longer a mall in this town. But I always wanted one, I never did. So so many years later, I decided to get one made. So yeah, Tech Dude shirts. No, I'm gonna say this. These not the Tech dudes that got remade with the fingers. These are the Tech dudes that look like cartoon characters, like Baby Kid style, a little bit mixed with Fat Albert. And those were Tech dudes, man. They weren't these finger characters. They began out as shirts first, before they went to the skateboard thing, and then before they went to the finger mode. So I used to have a lot of those type shirts, man. And I used to have so many of them, and those were my favorite ones. I found like one picture, but you can barely see it, but it's there, and you can see like the head a little bit, with like half of the shoe and like both of the legs. And I remember us kids, we would look at the Tech dude. We used to try to dress like that Tech dude every day that's on that shirt. And it was great. I'm not really going to get into hairstyles. Hairstyles for me, fro, the Opie Taylor look, braids, mohawk, high fade, top fade, flat fade, jerry curl. And sometimes I would cut it, and also the slick back look. So that sums it up for hairstyles. What else is pretty big? For movies, there was a lot of the comic movies, a lot of the animated movies, Scooby-Doo movies, Dragon Ball Z movies, cartoons, the Batman animated cartoon movies, Power Rangers movie, Superman, Spider-Man ones. So you had a lot of movies like those. And plus, even then, those young kids used to watch some of the horror stuff too. So yeah, we watch a lot of them. Pretty much what was good at the time we watched. So, TV shows, cartoons, man, were Dragonfly, Voltron, G.I. Joe, Captain America, X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Dragon Ball Z, Dexter's Laboratory, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Powerpuff Girls, Sailor Moon, what else? Beyblade, Jody and the Projects, Transformers. So quite a few were my favorites right there that I would literally watch. I can't. I think it's like in another show called Henchy. God, I can't find that anywhere. I don't even know how to spell the damn thing. Supposedly what that's about, it used to come on if anybody remember Toonami, it would show like all those Chinese shows like Dragon Ball Z, Henshi, um, Samurai X, Samurai Jack, Gundam. So I watched Toonami. That's why I could fill in all those while I'm saying this. So Henshi is pretty much about, there's a space pirate, there's a scientist chick. They run into this dude. They live with him and his father. They all, the two girls are trying to pretty much to get with him. They have these adventures and a whole love interest type thing. That's the best way I can try to sum it up. It's pretty damn crazy cartoon. I don't know if there's any footage of that. I actually had a VHS tape or movie type of it. I don't have it no more. I don't know where it's at, and it's like literally lost. Yeah. However, from there, Yu Yu Hakusho. So a lot of those shows, I would watch 90s shows, from Johnny Bravo. Forgot about them. Secret Squirrel, I think. Cow and Chicken. All the 90s shows, man, from Nickelodeon. Like I would watch Brace Face that used to come on, but that's about it. On Nickelodeon. Goosebumps, used to watch Goosebumps. And there was this one show, I can't remember it. I used to watch it in school. It was like Goosebumps, but the show wasn't Goosebumps. It took place in the school, and it had creepy adventures every now and then, like Goosebumps. And I don't remember the title. I don't remember it at all. Hell, I remember what it kind of would look like. Kind of like the scientist room in Batman and Robin, but the main part where these kids would just meet up every day is at the cafeteria, and this cafeteria lady, she's like really scary and huge, and she would serve this green gooey stuff every day. Like I said, I don't remember the name of the show because I used to watch it in school. So my guess will just come out on VHS and never really on TV, so you would have to watch it wherever. And it used to be in the library. I'm like, wow, they had that? Because, they got away with a whole lot of stuff back then, just like today, they're strict on stuff. But, back in my day, for TV shows and movies, got away with a lot. So 90s were the rule breakers, the outlaws of its time, and especially that's where I pretty much get my attitude at. I'm a 90s person, so I break rules, and I'm an outlaw. I don't do that stuff no more because I grew up, but you guys get the picture. So 90s were a good era for me, especially some of the stuff I'm explaining. Books, War of the Worlds, Goosebumps, Skeleton Man, Rainbow Fish, about the fish, those all shiny, shadow share scales, and Corduroy. For me, that did it. I had books as a child. Comic books, for a lot of Batman, that's pretty much it. We used to have Bugs Life collection, Scooby-Doo every now and then, graphic books. So I mean that's pretty much it for like books. I mean I'm not big on books, but I do got my favorites. So for early 2000 stuff is when some of the shows were still going on, and then you had some new stuff here and there that were okay. The first Total Drama Island for the early 2000s was the first Total Drama Island series, and then Cat Winslow, everything, and then Chowder. But after that, everything else got stupid, and I just watched it. I heard a rumor that Cartoon Network is no longer on the air. I don't know how true that is. Plus Ben 10, I would watch the first Ben 10. I don't like the new shit. So, early 2000s, we're still collecting cassette tapes. Just like in the 90s. I used to listen to a lot of hip-hop stuff. So my first cassette tape was Hoop, There It Is, then Thriller, Off the Wall, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then whatever I would listen to, whatever my mom would put in at the time. Had a lot of vinyls, but or my father's, and I didn't like them. I like some of the hip hop vinyls that I heard from friends. CD wise, my first CD I ever got was Aaron Carter's House Party. That was pretty damn dope. First boy band I heard on CD was the Backstreet Boys, and then NSYNC. Then I started to like them. From there, you know, Eazy-E, NWA, Snoop Dogg, Run DMC, all this during the 90s right now. Later on, I go from 50 Cent, Chameleonaire, and fuck, now I'm gonna miss a whole damn lot. Biggie, early 2000s again, plus Tupac. You know, pretty much for me, for the 2000s, were Chameleonaire and 50 Cent. A lot of people I listen to is all old school hip hop, and a lot of people that are dead. So I don't really listen to a lot of people that I like alive besides 50 Cent, Chameleonaire, and that's really about it for me. But yeah, what else do I really remember? That was pretty much huge. It wasn't a necessary, it wasn't a fad, but it was sort of like a thing. We would just stay out. Like, the 90s era is where you could let your kids stay as long as you want. Until, you know, you had a lot of the kidnappings, rapings, and murderers, stuff like that going on. Just like this day, like it gets worse every generation, every year. But, you know, we stay out till like midnight. You know, swim till midnight, played till midnight, ride our bikes around the neighborhood till midnight. You know, there's always that one each individual person where you just want to hang out at the person's house all day, but you have like a whole group of people. And it would be my place everyone would hang out at, though. You know what I'm saying? Or, for me, I'll go hang out at a very close friend of mine. You know, we ain't close anymore, but the story for another time. I don't know, kind of just grew apart. I'm gonna put it like that. There's just some parts of my life I'm not ready to share with you guys yet, or get into the whole background story of the street life. One day, however, you know, my place will be like the main place for everybody that wanted to hang out at. Invade each other's fridge is what we used to do. I don't remember the foods that were popular back then. I don't remember. Fundraisers were pretty big for when you're in school, and that actually used to be fun. You used to get like dope prizes. I don't know. I mean, throughout my times being in school, from elementary to half of middle school, you know, fundraisers got like, the 90s fundraisers were cool. From 2000 to 2005, the fundraisers were dope. Somewhere along the line, they died out, and they kept dying, and they just like stopped them. One fundraiser I remember was like the biggest fundraiser ever. We raised so much money that we had so much money left over that we got new playground equipment. I remember it too, and it was fun playground stuff to play on. So like a decade, like I've been around 3.5 decades, going on the 3rd generation of kids. Gotta remember, I don't know if anybody's good at math. Suppose I'm hearing two different things. 91, you're supposed to be 23. I'm born in 91. On my certificate, it says, on some of the stuff, it's saying I'm 22 years old. Like, it's like, no, you're 22, no, you're 23. I hear more people saying 23 than 22. To tell you the truth, I'm just gonna say I'm 22. Originally 23, supposedly, but I was born in 91, early 90s. However you do the math, you know, I'm confused, so I'm just gonna say I'm 22, make myself younger. So You can tell, like I said earlier, 12th grade year, and back in '09 to '10. No, was it 2000? 2010, no? Yeah? No? Yeah, 2010. You know, just having a day, just riding by, I guess. One elementary schools I used to go to. And you would look, I noticed some of these neighborhoods were not here. The playground was pretty much gone. Used to be another playground next to it that was gone. All the equipment is totally gone. It was like a wasteland, and it was sad to see that, because half the school was crumbled to the side. I'm not gonna mention the name of the school, but it's crumbled to the side a little bit, boarded up. Half of it was still operational, and seeing that was really sad, because the school I went to was pretty much fun. It's like what, one story now? It used to be like bigger than that. Like you used to have like steps, steps. Yeah. What else? I mean, other than that, it's pretty much all the stuff that's pretty much big. All the stuff that I pretty much remember. For me, it'd be during the 2000s and 90s a lot. You know, I mean, you guys know how I feel about the younger generation from the relationship video I did. So, you know, I don't care for it. Computers, before I end this video, computers are like the size of this damn fan. And you had like this whole entire, like the keyboard was like, looked like half a calculator and a register. It was like huge, and the brain was like, I'm trying to be honest, it's the size of this damn thing, a little bit bigger, and you know, so kind of give you guys a little example of how huge it was. But you used to have these cartridges games in schools, education games. There's like this green, you know, long floppy disk with designs in it. You would put it in it, and every time you would get far into this game, it would come out and come out and come out, make like this noise. You know, CD-ROMs weren't huge at the time because they weren't actually in. So they stopped mass producing those for a while. A lot of the stuff were on floppy. So that's one thing that's pretty huge. Gateway with the cow design was the most popular computer at the time, and I had one. The original Cartoon Network website design was the one I missed, because I had a lot of good games on there. I'm not going to get too much into it, but if anybody remembers it, you know, from my age, my generation, you guys know exactly how the Cartoon Network website looked like, and how it was designed, and all the good games I had on it. Last time I've been on it, I don't remember. I heard it's like downfall now, pretty much, like just literally dead, like the station. So this is pretty much, you know, me on stuff on the 90s that were powerful and stuff I also remember. This is your boy Cheddar Terry, out.